I didn't know what to do for the thumbnail, so I just had a picture of me going, because that's really all this movie is. A part of me was even wondering if I should review this, because how do you review a Jackass movie? I guess with something like this, you see the premise and you see clips from it, and you either say that makes me laugh or it doesn't, and they really make me laugh. I love all these movies. I love the show. I loved even the whatever you would call it, the prequel with CKY, whatever you would call it, all that stuff cracks me up, you know, and it is one of those things where, again, I was saying to myself, well, how can I really talk about this? There's a couple things I did want to talk about. One is, I was actually talking to Heather about this before, because she knows what it is, and she's like, yeah, I just don't think it would, you know, I get why people like it. I don't think it would make me laugh that much. And this really is not a movie series or a show or anything where if you see some clips and it's not making you laugh, it's not like, no, you need to see the whole thing. It's not like that. This is something where it's exactly what they're promising and gonna give you. So don't think like if you don't get into it, you're missing something. It's like, no, you're probably getting it. It just doesn't entertain you. And that's completely understandable. It's called Jackass. It knows what it is and it doesn't hide it. But that's also why people like me who love physical comedy and slapstick and stuff like that absolutely love it. The other thing I wanted to say too, because I mean most people know the setup for this, is just a bunch of, you know, silly dudes that go out there, and some women now, I guess, that just go out there and do a bunch of stupid stunts and, you know, various ways of hurting themselves and doing gross things and just stuff that nobody else wants to do, and it really hurts, but they laugh at it. They just embrace it. They go to the hospital over and over and over, and they just have a lot of fun with it, and it's contagious. Like, we laugh with it too. And what I really wanted to bring up with this, because it looks like this might be the last one, is that I really think this is a good crowd movie. Watching Jackass at home, it's definitely fun, and it's fun to watch with some friends, or it's fun to watch alone. Either way, you know, it's very enjoyable. You know, again, if you're into this kind of comedy. But I love seeing these movies because I love seeing it with a crowd. There's something about humor this basic and so primal that is so much fun to watch with a large group of people. And I've seen all of them on the big screen. I've seen all of them with a crowd, and there's something really great knowing just all these different types of people, you know, because that is what's so fun about this kind of humor, is you don't have to be particularly intelligent, you don't have to be, you know, like have an awareness of anything specific. Just if any kind of physical humor makes you laugh, you're probably gonna like this. And it's great seeing all these different types of people just come together and laugh at something we all know is stupid and really dumb, and the people that make it know it's stupid and dumb, but they're not pretending at all. They're not trying to have a story, they're not trying to have characters or anything like that, you know, nothing is standing in for something else. It's all just dumb, and everybody embraces it, everybody has a good time. So that's one of the things I kind of wanted to say, is that if you've never seen one of these on the big screen, even though the screening I went to didn't have a ton of people, again, it is still kind of in the time of COVID and such, but there was a decent enough crowd there where you could hear people laughing and so on. You know, I would recommend it if you're comfortable. You know, again, if you're not comfortable going to a movie theater, don't risk it for Jackass. but if you are, if you're seeing movies okay and stuff, this is a fun one to see with a crowd. Jackass is one of those movie series where I do associate it with some of the most fun I've had in a movie theater with a crowd. You know, I think of like great moments in, you know, just going to the theater and seeing a movie. I do think of something like Spider-Man No Way Home, The Dark Knight, Jurassic Park I saw tons of times. I mean, all these movies where you have these nice memories of seeing it and reacting with the crowd, Return of the King, like, you know, all these films. And Jackass is part of that. And I know that sounds silly because there's not a ton of, you know, thought that goes into these, but they are still creative. They are still timed very well. They're paced very well. Everyone's clearly having a good time. time. You know, it does take some ingenuity to put together some of these weird stunts and ideas and so forth. Most of it, again, seems legit, like they're really hurting themselves. But there's one or two times where I'm sort of like, when they're doing pranks for like people in front of people, like acting like they're someone else, and they don't do it often in this, but every once in a while I'm like, it kind of felt like an actor a little bit. And I'm not saying they are, I'm saying it kind of had that vibe. I'm like, well, how do they get the audio from that person out? It sounds so clear and everything. But the great thing about it is that even if that is the case, it doesn't ruin the movie at all, because they only do that once or twice in this. It's not like a huge part of Jackass's identity. It isn't just pranks, you know, because the majority of the pranks they'll kind of play on themselves as well, and just stuff like shaving, you know, the back of their head or stuff like that. So all of that is really, really fun. There's a lot of great little moments of these people interacting off each other too. There's one moment I really love where this guy's dad, he gets his dad in on this one stunt where it's kind of like a cone of silence, where you have like these these plastic see-through, I don't know what you call it, tubes that, you know, sort of connect these two guys together, and they put a spider in, you know, in the middle of the tube, and they have to sort of blow on it to get the other direction. And this one guy brought his dad in to do it. It's like the only stunt that, you know, that the father takes part in. And what I like is that, the guy sticks around, like he's kind of in other stuff, even though he doesn't like interact with the stunts, he's kind of there like in the audience. I just kind of like that, like little things like that that does kind of show this fun camaraderie. And then also, like, there's just a little scene where it's like, it does go over like into his tube, the spider, and the guy, like, you know, they have him taped to a chair, and he actually like breaks free, and he grabs like the animal trainer who put the spider in. He grabs like Johnny Knoxville. He doesn't even know what to do. He's just holding on to them. And they're like, you want the guy to take it out? You gotta let go of him. So he lets go. And then the other dude in the other tube, you know, who doesn't have the spider in him and stuff, like, he grabs his hand and he holds him. It's a weirdly sweet scene. Because he can tell, like, the guy is not used to these stunts and everything, but he still agreed to it and everything, and he's having a hard time. So, like, he just holds out, like, no, hold my hand, we're here, we're both in this weird-ass tube together, and it's a bizarrely really nice little moment. But then there's other scenes where there's like there's a scorpion they're trying to get to sting this woman's like bottom lip, and at one point the scorpion falls, it's on her belly, and it starts climbing its way up, and she's like, you know, dude, it's on my breast, get it off my breast, and the guy says, I have to have your permission in order to take it off. He's like, yes, take it off my breast. Like little moments like that you feel like he can't really make up. Just really, really make the interaction with these people a lot funnier. And of course, I've not known them, but, you know, I've seen them since the show, and I love the way they work off each other. The physical comedy is just so funny, and it's so much funnier when you know how genuine it is and that they're having fun with it. And then, of course, those couple times where something happens and you do think to yourself, that person die? Something happened that and you know they can't. They're not going to show it on the big screen in front of millions of people. But you get so wrapped up in it that you do, and because you know most of it is real, that you do go, oh man, is that person okay? Is that person all right? And it kind of takes you a second to remember, yeah, they're going to be fine. So I mean, there's no other way to talk about this movie in terms of recommending it, except if you've seen the show and you've seen the other movies and you like it, you'll probably like this. There's still enough creative stunts. They bring in some new people as well. I don't know if they're looking to, like, you know, pass the torch or something, or they're gonna start this going again. But the new people were all fun and funny, and they did a lot of, you know, crazy stuff with them and everything. But, or maybe this is the last we'll ever see of it. Maybe number 4 really is the final one. It really is Jackass Forever. Either way, I'd be fine. I mean, I have no problem just rewatching the other movies again, or the show or anything like that, because it's just a fun, stupid thing, and there's really not much else you can say about it. You either laugh at it or you don't, and either is understandable. I know there's like some people that try to critique it as art and say what they're doing is kind of like a form of art. I think like the third one was like premiered at like the Metropolitan Museum or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it was premiered at somewhere where it had like artistic value to it. And in some ways I can kind of see that, but it's not high art. Well, okay, you had to be high to do this art, but it's something where you can kind of see like somebody saying, well, they are suffering for their art and they're doing it, you know, for the fun and is bringing enjoyment, and there is this surreal way of enjoying it, but like any kind of art, it's not something everybody's going to enjoy. And like I said, this is something I think you can pick up very quickly if you're going to like it or you're not. I really liked it. I think it's just as good as the other three. It's cool to see them back together, you know, interacting with each other and doing these stupid stunts. So, yeah, I had a good time. What did you think? Did you grow up with Jackass? Is this like your introduction to it? Yeah, just compared to the other movies and the shows, do you think this one's different at all? Or do you think that's pretty much the same, like there's not anything that mind-blowingly new in it, it's just exactly what it is, it's Jackass, and that's, you know, are you fine with that, or do you want something different now? I'd love to know what you think. I had a ball, it's not that complex, it is what it is, and I laugh my ass off at it. So that's about it, I'll see you next time, take care.